ọmọ kékeré gbà ni, but ọmọ kékeré tó ń control Great Britain, United Kingdom today. So but that is not the point I wanted to touch on. Mo ti rí easy dollar kò ní bàjẹ́ fún ẹ, ṣé ń ju wọlé ni mo ti kí ẹ láàárọ̀ igan, mo ti ọba ti dé ní tí ọmọ ní ń ju wọlé ni, bá ti ní kí n ju wọlé èmi kan ti gbọ́ wọlé báyìí wọn àpọ̀ ọmọ Ìjẹ̀bú àá fẹ́ràn owó dẹ̀ la fi ń ṣe nǹkan, àwọn kan náà ẹni tó bá fẹ́ràn owó kó lọ máa wá pépà káàkiri ńgbà yẹn, owó nìyàn fi ń ṣe gbogbo nǹkan. You know, we sit down now, we have expenses to pay, and some say don't give them money. Why do you think China's television is operating? If they don't have money, they will collapse. China's television, from the news coming from their page, which I'm going to give you now, they are still the 16th, when it comes to China's television wins the TV station of the year for the 16th time. Do you know how much they're using to operate China's television? People come here and say that we need money. So support us all the time. It is important. It helps us. It helps you. And we can do much as well. So if you have, it's voluntary. If you don't have, it's a different thing. But if you do have it, don't hesitate to support the platform. Even if you have to do it continuously, some of you are doing it monthly, some of you are doing it once and one off. But whatever you do, we love you, we appreciate you, for that purpose. So I want to go back again to Rishi Sunak. Rishi Sunak was born in 1980. May. Thank you, Mr. Danny, for the rose. Thank you so much. We love you. We appreciate you, sir. Let's go back to Rishi Sunak. But that is not where I'm going. Do you even know that if you're born in America, how many people can confirm this with me, please? They've already from birth. I'm not talking about those of us we just jack out ahead, because those one we jack out, you be second generation migrants. I'm talking about a full born American citizen. I've been confirmed and told that your fingerprint is not just what they take your leg fingerprint. How many people can confirm that with me? Because my brother told me that that is what happened in America. Back in Sunny Yoruba, if you're born in America, United States of America, they take your foot fingerprint. Foot, they say. So you can tell that they are not joking. So you cannot come and say you are not who you say you are. Moki Pastor Adetokunbo. Happy Monday, sir. So let's come back to the conversation. Why do you think that Rishi Sunak, which his parent as at that time came from East Africa, but he was born Indo-parent of Indian Punjabi descent. Rishi Sunak was born in Southampton General Hospital. Today, thank you so much, Miss B, for the diamond as well. We love you. We appreciate everyone. And we say thank you so much for those of you that are our great contributor. If you want to give stickers as well, you can go on our backup channel where you'll be able to do so. And when people say, oh, you are doing Yoruba Nation because of monetization, you might as well say to Channels Television that they should remove their monetization from their YouTube channel. Because I don't know why people always link, because some of us are doing Yoruba Nation. Say, I want you Yoruba Nation because of monetization. What do you mean by that? Tell Channels Television to remove their own now. Do you know how much Channels is making on their monetization? Even though they are making money from the politicians and all that. So please, let us, get the fact out. So, let's go back to the British colony. From 1800 to 1900, Britain gained control over or occupied what is now known as Egypt, Sudan, Kenya, Uganda, South Africa, Gambia, Sierra Leone, northwestern Somalia, Zimbabwe, Zambia, Botswana, Nigeria, Ghana, and Malawi. Let's break it down. Bear with us, sometimes when I kick in some bit of Yoruba in this broadcast is because I want my people to get the message right. In tó ń jẹ́ kó yé wa ni pé láàrin 1880 títí di 1900 mo rí ẹ̀ easy ó ti jù sínú bẹ̀ kò ní bàjẹ́ fún ẹ. Thanks so much my brother ẹ̀gbọ́n mi dáadáa. Britain gained control, but they've not told us how they gained the control. Which way? How? Was it through violence? Was it that they went to the people and say, I beg, we go take your territory and we go use them for a certain period. And when we finish using them, we will give it back to you. But if they've even done what they've done, because some of you will cry when you go to the Slave Museum. I've had the privilege to visit it in Liverpool. Not Liverpool in the one where they London, no. Liverpool, outside London. You will cry if you visit the Slave Museum. I was not allowed to record, but you can take still picture. You will cry if you see some of the videos that they are playing inside there. How these people change our life. And that life is what we are trying to uphold and turn around. And some Nigerians are saying, no. We are Nigerians. How can you be Nigeria more than Yoruba? You should be a Yoruba person. You should be an Hausa person. You should, thank you so much, Amakulex. You should be a Biafran. Even Fulani was never part of us because they never had a territory. What they are doing now is they are trying to gain a territorial ground known as the southwest part of Nigeria, which is Yoruba land, and also the east part of Nigeria. People in the north have lost their territory. Today, half of the governors, not all of them, they are all Fulanese. They've installed every part of the north where they control the resources. So even the average Hausa man have lost it now. They don't. I mean, you will not even differentiate who is an Hausa anymore, because what we are witnessing right now in the northern part of Nigeria today are the Fulanese that have taken control of that region. If I don't know anyone off air, I know, and I heard Ganjude, the now APC chairman, said, and I quote, that he is a Fulani man. El Rufai is a Fulani man. So the question is, what was the game plan? Why did Britain decided that after they've gained control of this territory, let's count it again. Britain control Egypt. Britain control Sudan. Go and look at Sudan today, even though they now have South Sudan and the other one. Britain control Kenya. Britain control Uganda. Please, sir, which state is Fulani land in Nigeria? They don't have a state. That's it, Miss Denny Brown. Fulani don't have a. They don't have a. They don't have. No, not even a. Well, they don't even have a land. Talk about state. But what they've done now, craftily, they've been able to start taking land. You know, it's like me now. I live in this country. Imagine if I start saying, in the next few years, my children, I tell them, say, now your papa get that land. I mean, even if you buy a house in UK, you don't own the land. The land belongs to the king. But in Yoruba territory today, in the region of the southeast, they've now started taking our land. Even some are saying that the Igbos are trying to take our land. And I got to be factual about that. People are already complaining. And that is why there's this hatred that have kicked in, because some believe that the Igbos are flooding into the southwest of Yoruba land. And we can argue that, because there is no way you can stop them as long as we remain inside this one block Nigeria. If we have a Yoruba land now, or a Yoruba government, it is our government that would then decide through immigration and through the partnership that we would have when the country breaks away between us and the Biafrans. But when some of you are coming to say they are encroachers, they are encroaching our land, they are taking that land. No, they are not taking that land. It's because that is what the British government gave every one of us to go and manage. So it is entirely up to the Yoruba politician now to start thinking that, okay, if you say you don't want the Igbo to take your land, then we must start talking about our entity and our own government called the Yoruba government. Tinubu is not a Yoruba government. Tinubu is just one other politician, corrupt politician. I can say that because Tinubu is corrupt, We saw all the shenanigans he took out of Lagos State, but he's been craftily able to make money out of the politics. Tinubu was as rich, as poor as puppet on his return back from England to Nigeria in 1998. Those that know him very well are still living in this country and they are still alive. And he was never meant to be the candidate. Funshaw Williams was who they were going to use. Today, the question is, does Bola Tinubu have any hand in the death of Funshaw Williams? Does he know anything about the death? Because there was a big issue between Funshaw Williams and Bola Tinubu, but we'll come to that some other time. So I just want us to understand that when we say that we don't want the Igbos in Yoruba territory, this is what the British did to us. The British should have left us the way they met us in the 1880. If they have left us the way we are, if there have not been any Berlin Conference, we will still take control of what is called Benin Republic today. It will be under our belt. We will still have Togo under our belt, and I don't know if we will have Ghana as well. But whatever it is, even the Oyibo people, because my mom doesn't like me to call them white, so she always say don't use that word, and I love my mom too much. So the Oyibo people were very, very crafty people. What they did was, after Britain was able to gain control, they were all scrambling for Africa. They were fighting back to back. They were killing themselves, and they now say, no. All this our killing is not good for us. Let us not kill ourselves now. We are the same people. Why should we kill ourselves because we don't see Congo? We don't look. Belgium literally sucked the whole of Congo. The king just apologized. These are the kind of education that is not being taught today in that contraction you call Nigeria, that you want me now. If I didn't know before, that's fine. Maybe for the first 20 years of my life, I was not available to be told what I'm reading to you right now. But at 40 plus now, from what I know, I will fight to the last day to make sure that the Yoruba people get the hell out of Nigeria by making sure that you are well educated and sound enough to know that the Oyibo people, tell you respect, I don't give a toss. I don't respect them here. Because there's so much racism on me in this country. I've lived in this country with them for 25 good years. It took me 15 years for the same people that colonized us, for the same people that took control of my territory to tell me that but Yoruba people today, because you want to protect the interests of Nigeria. Definitely there's something wrong with your medulla oblongata. Because if nothing is wrong with your medulla oblongata, this is a police report from the London Metropolitan Police. I've shown you more. This is the Metropolitan Police saying to me, Mr. Koiki, we are so sorry. We would love to share the information about your Yoruba sculpture, which is 1,000 years old, but there are some certain things that we cannot do for you. This was given to me under freedom of information. So, Iwoto Wanile, Tambasoro, I wonder what you are thinking. I hope everything is working as we plan. For a few minutes, please. I'll call back in a minute. Get my party program anyone. But if anything, you can just send a message through the email. Email ni come because Google phones parapata no broadcast. So you can just send an email quickly and give me an update on that. So kí ni mo ń try láti fàyọ níbẹ̀? Ẹ̀yin Yorùbá lẹ wá ń ṣe alátakò èmi tèmi ti gbé pẹ̀lú àwọn òyìnbó yìí. Èmi àti wọn jọ ń gbé ni tó bá wọ toilet pẹ̀lú òyìnbó wà á sá jáde níbẹ̀ because wọ́n jẹjẹkújẹ ju bó ṣe dá lọ. But because ẹ̀yin rí wọn as angel, I'm sorry, they are not angel. I'm not saying that they are not good people among them, but their forefathers destroy who we are. And if we don't pull out now, the next generation will continue to destroy us. So you are expecting Rishi Sunak, a 40, how old is he now? Rishi Sunak, a 40 whatever years old. They are 43. Almost 1970, almost 1980. You are now expecting Rishi Sunak to make a decision for us when we all can make that decision today. But we cannot make that decision if we still have large proportion of Yoruba people that are saying that we want Nigeria, because for them, that is what they were sold to in 1960. Some of them doesn't even understand that there was something before 1960. We were even having a regional government up to before 1960. All that is not the issue. The issue is, why did they decide that British gain control? Egypt, Sudan, Odimeji, Kenya, Odimeta, Uganda, Odimeri, South Africa, Odimanu, wọ́n fìyà jẹ ṣégi àwọn South Africa. Gambia, Odimefa, Sierra Leone, Odimeje, Northwest Somalia, Odimejo, Zimbabwe, Odimesan, Zambia, Odimewa, Botswana, Odi 11, Nigeria, Odimejila, Ghana, Odi 13, Malawi, Odi 14. This was how powerful Britain Empire was, that they were able to hold on to 14, I mean, you can imagine they were able to hold on to 14 territorial ground, but they were not able to hold on to it if we do not have our own king and some of our people that compromise as at that era. And that is the same problem we are facing today. The same opportunity to have found Babanlawa Nijono long. Somebody says, Mr. Egbomi Olatunja officer in Botswana is one of the best countries in Africa. Thank you so much for that update. Odua has arrived, say Yoruba route to the birth of Congo. So today now, because Oyibo people don't they wear suit, you go and listen to Femi Falana. You think Femi Falana doesn't know what I'm talking about? These ones are enjoying part of Nigeria. They are looking for case of Mohbad, case of this. Hey, I'm a freedom activist. That won't allow you. Everyone is just chopping as they can chop out of. I can also be chopping out of Nigeria. And I have my friend there. Go on his page. He's a public figure. Kiloruko again no. Omo Sanwo-Olu, family Sanwo-Olu. We're both here in the UK. He's under the leader. He's working with Lagos State Governor now, Babajide Sanwo-Olu. I saw him, Jamin. Go and type Jamin on Google and see how he's having a great time in Lagos today. He cares less whether Yoruba Nation comes or not. He's making his own money out of being diaspora, whatever that they give him position. I would have been part of that as well. But we are saying that not all of us will go and do that. The ones doing that now, some of them have no choice. But what we are saying is that we must start talking about the unity of the Yoruba people to pull out of Nigeria. But some Yorubas are the same people that are saying, no. We're not going to give you that unity that you're looking for. We will stick to Nigeria. That means you are sticking to what the British control. Because for the fact that Tebashi Nsokwe fell Nigeria, you are still saying that whatever happened in 1880, when they gained the control, we should keep it. And these are the reasons why we are saying it is not about fighting. It's about understanding. And we cannot be sitting on that understanding for too long. Mama explain, Mama say this, because some people, their ears are blocked off. They're not going to listen to anything. That is why some will pull like the Biafrans are doing presently. You might not like their style of campaign, but that is what they feel is the only way the message will be heard. And it is just a matter of when everything will go down. Let's go back now quickly to Berlin Conference. Remember I told you that Britain, while he was controlling this side, there were also some other ones that wanted to take part of it too, but they were fighting each other. Fighting. I mean, is it not funny? I mean, even is it not funny that these people were fighting for what belongs to me and you? Good afternoon, Prince Adi. Sheko funny see? I mean, they are literally fighting for what doesn't belong to them. So they have to now call a conference. Do you know that when they called the conference, they didn't involve me and you? I mean, during our forefathers as at the time, they didn't involve us. when they had the Berlin conference, they no call anybody from Africa to come sit down say this Africa where we want break where we want divide the territory. This is how we're gonna do it. Do you know that they never got us involved? And my people today now, they are so excited. They are so happy. Especially some of you, we never see Oyibo people before. Oyibo pepe, luku pepe. Àwọn Òyìnbó lè wá pọ́nlé bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn. Àwọn Òyìnbó tó ti bá ọba ayé àwọn bàbá ńlá wa jẹ́. Àwọn Òyìnbó yẹn làwọn wá ń pọ́nlé. À ń pọ́n wọn lé bí ṣúgà tí honey. If you know what they did to our great-great-grandfathers, you would never forgive, not this generation of their children, but the previous generation, you will never forgive them. You will never. Yeah, they will never want history to be taught in school. Imagine if if truly and truly our politicians are serious, this is the kind of message you should be taking to every school, especially from GS1 to SS3. It should be like a syllabus, so that somebody like us will go in and I'll do 10, 30, 1 hour lecture, and we will start again the following week. I will give assignment to people. Now they'll tell you, go and do assignment. Who founded River Niger? Mungo Park. Now we found out that it's a lie. Mungo Park never founded anything called River Niger. If Yoruba wants to pull out of Nigeria, the elected Yoruba politicians in the national parliament should take the motion. The question is, they don't want to take the motion. I love that angle of our politician must be the one to push the drive. I want Onifala Gogoro, what's his name called? Amosun, the former governor. We have 2 former governors presently in the Senate representing us from Ijebu or Ogun State. We have Amosun, we have Benga Daniel, we have Yayi. Can you literally say that these men, let's even cut a pongole, these our fathers, even though do you think that they can push the motion to pull out of Nigeria? And if they cannot, do you think that people like us will be given opportunity, which some of what people suggested, vote for Sowore? Because one mark with about vote for Sowore, it will eventually pull down Nigeria. So our politicians were, yes, this is the best way to do it. Scottish people now, they are preparing, no, not Scottish, Alba Party, they are preparing 12 candidates ready to act into Mukiamakulex to be part of the Scottish Parliament come election 2025. The agenda will be the Alba Party is an independent party that wants the right of the Scottish people. So when they have 12 candidates and they can get into the parliament, what do you think they will do? They will be putting the motion, just like my uncle there, our professor, is saying. It's a great idea, but can our Yoruba politicians be serious to be able to do it by making sure that they put the motion inside the House of Assembly, and likewise, okay, even if the one from Abuja cannot do it, what about the one from the state level? Why are they not doing it? They are all eating out of Nigeria. Okay, let's even agree that they didn't want to do it. Bola Tinubu was there. Do we wait until Bola Tinubu leave power and they will do it? And you think the North will then allow such to happen? Wow. So let me put it this way. Let me rephrase it. Mukimba Baba Tunde Daddy Ekabosa. Now let's put it this way. Do you think that Bola Tinubu finished 8 years? And then our House of Assembly will then say, now that Tinubu has finished his tenure, it will be in the interest of everyone to break. It will be great, it will be good, but do you think that the Northerners will accept that? Yoruba Nation Lafeti say, to put some Yoruba Nation to join them in parliament is a bad idea, it can't work. They will not even give you the slot. So Sowore is there. What if Fulaye? Ambos Ibosiawa. And this is the reason why the only option is to keep the campaign going very strong. Enlighten, education. It's hard. It's like you are trying to crack a wall that doesn't want to break. Our people now is like me and you and those of us that have already understood. Not that some of them don't understand what we are saying, but some of them are probably just like, hey, you can't be in UK and be talking like this. Come back home. You know, all these, little things that they talk about. But some of them know at the back of their heart that Bilu Ishinlo Omoko Wate. Awadkeri Alafefe Aye Niwa. I saw a video, where boys have great time in Lagos State. All that is good. We can still have the same lifestyle. Koda otuma better, otuma sonwa. Because what I see right now is that many of our Yoruba youths, our boys, our girls, a lot of you are struggling today. Ṣe jẹ́ kí gbogbo akaku wá fọwọ́ pọ̀ sójú kan ká pull out. Look, the only thing is we might not accept gbogbo àwọn certain things anymore in terms of the threat to life of people. You won't be able to do that because we will have a system in place. If you do that, you will be picked up. The case of Mohbad, as an example, should have been dealt with before he died, if it was a good system. Sometimes the system also slipped. Victoria Cambley, I think I got the name right. She was killed somewhere in one of the, the London borough. She died because the system failed her. The system failed her and she died. I just want to remember Victoria Climby. She died. Victoria Climby was an 8-year-old Ivorian girl who was tortured and murdered by her great auntie and her great auntie boyfriend. Her death led into public inquiry. I don't want to be straining my eyes too much because I'm watching it from my massive 65-inch screen there. You'll be surprised to know that the Northerners will like to pull out as well. If the worst come to worst, they would like Nigeria to go back to the regional government. This is a fact. Well, that is if the Fulani amongst them wants that. Because when we talk about the North is already divided right now. We don't have the structure of the North as we used to have it anymore. What we have right now is we have the Fulanis that are taking control of what is called the northern part of Nigeria today. And I'm sure everybody agrees to that. Babami, granddad, Mr. Babatunde Olatunjini, they are cowards. They cannot do it. And that is our politicians. Our politicians are not going to put the motion for the dissolution of Nigeria or even the motion to talk about referendum. They're not going to do it. And what I was saying earlier was that now that if Tinubu finish his tenure, maximum 8 years, politicians were majadi. This is even the best time now because Tinubu is there right now. Tinubu cannot take them out of the government. I mean, I'm sure you know what I mean. Because we know that Tinubu has a huge influence, whether we like it or not, on the people on our politicians. It doesn't matter from even up to Ibadan or your state. Tinubu has influence. Because one kokon wotomo Yoruba molara. That is why Seyi Makinde did not support Atiku. He actually supported Tinubu. So he gave all their vote on the PDP to Tinubu. So what I'm saying now is that Tinubu is not the governor, the president. It will be in the interest of the Yoruba politician to now start asking for the same thing, Awofeso is talking about. The motion for referendum, the motion to dissolve Nigeria, the motion to pull down Nigeria from the current state of where it is. Are they going to be truthful to be able to do that? Mr. Adeyemo Ojo-Samuel say, our Yoruba politicians will never move that type of motion that Nigeria should break because of their selfish interest. By the time they began to chop breakfast from Fulani herdsmen, Oriwon Makwe, Oduduwa has arrived, say, there is so much money to share at the House of Assembly in Abuja, and it is turn by turn. Emilokan. My brother there, Scar, says, scarce gold. We need to learn from the Fulani, Hausa, and Israel Palestinians regarding our land. Mukibaba Nuruddin. So what we are saying again and again is that let's leave that now. Let's go back. Found to that problem in Sile. Let's go one step back again. The Berlin Conference. That is where they now share Africa. Oh yeah, it was by late. So that Kamama Barawaja. Britain, you want to offer. I want to tell you to do that. Àwa sì fẹ́ Nàìjíríà a fẹ́ side ibẹ̀ yẹn ó ní gold ó ní ọ̀rá ó ní omi ó ní gbogbo ẹ̀ a dẹ̀ fẹ́ Ghana àwọn náà ní gold so they cut it for them. Belgium èwo lẹ́yìn fẹ́ àwọn tí mọ tó wà ní Congo so much resources in Congo we want Congo. So what they did in 1884 we must now revisit it again. But àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá ló ń ṣe alátakò wà báyìí nísìn àwọn gangan ló ń sọ fún wa nísìn pé no Koiki no you know we don't want that. We still want to be called Nigerians when truly and truly we should be called the Yoruba people, the Oduduwa Republic, with our own passport, with our own true identity, and we can have cordial relationship with the rest of those our previous neighbors. I'm talking about those that we've lived together in the last 63 years of what is called Nigeria. It can be done without any fight. It can be done if our politicians are honest and loyal to us. Do you think that they're loyal and honest to us? I don't think so. And I believe Bola Tinubu is just one out of those many politicians that will not do what some of you are thinking. It is far beyond economic force. We need to first preserve and defend our identity. All this economic issue, security, welfare, hospital, those ones are the minor. You saw the Igbo woman, a professor in London. The Biafra people will call her back. She will design, template that can be used for the next 500 years. They will just be adding to it and topping it up. The same thing will happen to the Yorubas. The development will come in, but some of you, Mukiba Bawadekweju, you want development in Nigeria. Okay. Oh, yes, definitely. It is the responsibility of the government to give you development. But we have gone far past development. We are already pushing. I know some of you might say, let's take it step by step. What about if we get conquered? Because the whole picture is that Tinubu is not going to be here for another 80 years. He'll be dead, man. It's a fact. I give him 80 years. He'll be dead. He'll be 160 years old. I don't think he will even be able to stand up. So why then don't we make a push now before it is late? And moreover, we pray for Tinubu for a good life. I pray for him because if Tinubu died today, Shetima becomes the next president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So why then must we slow down when we can pull it now? Some say, Tinubu has 4 years. Who told you that? If the military take over the power, and if they arrest Tinubu inside his house and they put a gun on his head and say, oh yeah, we saw what happened in Niger. Are you thinking like I'm thinking? Oh, Nigeria cannot go. We cannot have. If it happens, all they have to do is just arrest the president inside the house, like they did with Niger. You might say it's not going to happen. If we wake up tomorrow and it happened, Moki Grandma Comfort Ologunja Ekabo Sorietowa. The possibility is very slim. If Bororo will let go of the location 419, they know how to play their game, which has already started in Ijebu-Ode. Like I said, all this is something that should be in that one deliberate maybe by anything. This should be what our politicians should be deliberating, and we will just be doing the analysis on it. But they are not interested. They want to give you and me, a development. Muki Iyawa Wuyi Adewuyi. They want to give us development. Oh yes, we need development, but we are talking about the future of the Yoruba people in Nigeria today. What future do you want? You want to become Nigerian? Okay, maybe you should follow me on this Berlin Conference. The Berlin Conference took place in 1884/1885. It is what they called, also known as the Congo Conference. I believe it was held in Germany. Iretemi, good afternoon, sir. Once again, a very good afternoon and welcome to the program. We're 20 minutes away to the end of the broadcast, hopefully. Berlin Conference. The Berlin Conference of 1884 to 1885, also known as the Congo Conference of West Africa Conference. They met November 15, 1884, and after the adjournment concluded on 26th of February 1885. Waris, good afternoon, sir. With the signature of the General Act regulating the European colonialization and the trade in Africa during the new imperialism period. The conference was organized by Otto von Bismarck, the first Chancellor of Germany, at the request of King Leopold II. The General Act of Berlin can be seen as the formalization of the scramble for Africa. Many people do not know this, and many people knows, but they are very biased because some of them are better off than you, and some of them care less as long as they can live in a society where nothing works. The scramble for Africa, as used by the historians, describe the invasion, division, colonialization of the most of Africa by 7 Western European powers, and one major 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 of them took chunk of Africa under their belt, and they were running it, and then they do whatever they wanted to do with it until date, even till date. I'll read that again. The scramble for Africa, as used by historians, describes during that era invasion, division. Why are we divided today? We don't like the Igbos. We don't like the Hausas. Even the South Africa don't like Nigerians. We don't like each other. So much hatred along the line in African country. Tell somebody you are from Nigeria, when you go to Kenya, they'll say, oh, you are the one that come and take all our women. The way they think. So the division is not just within Nigeria, it also goes as far as African countries. Go to Cote d'Ivoire, go to other African countries and see how hatred among each one of us. This is what the Berlin Conference did. And that is why we are saying that the divide and rule system is still being played today. While we are saying that we don't want to work with certain group of people, in the House of Assembly in Abuja, they care less whether you are Igbo, whether you are Middle Belt, whether you are Yoruba, Ishekiri. They all eat and chop together. Yawa Comfort, Ologunja, Yoruba has given in to be the ball being kicked up and down. What a big shame with a question mark. Mr. Adeyemo said, Brother Koiki, believe me, a time is coming that some of our Yoruba politicians will be the one that will be looking and begging our God-sent message, CSI, that they are ready to back him up. Kò péjú mọ́. Kí ó má péjú. Mokindadiwa, Kolawole Amzat, and the rest of you, I'll end the broadcast in 15 minutes. The scramble for Africa. It was a very terrible time. And it is still terrible because now, as many of us that have japa in the 70s, in the 80s, in the 90s, some of you have just arrived in the 2000s. Some still want to arrive. But we are still not giving a lot of opportunity compared to some of those European countries. Some of the European countries that get access to these European countries, you wonder how come Yoruba people, the Biafran people, the Hausa people cannot have the same access. It's because they've seen us as due to the reason of our economic wahala that they created. And when you look at all the terrorists going on in Nigeria and Africa, it is all man-made, well created for a purpose. Oh, you don't fight them, oh, just pray to God. But these guys are using AK-49. Is that not why T.Y. Danjuma say, if you all wait, everyone will die? When Dr. Malafi Obadia was saying that when they finished with the rural areas, everybody was not even concentrating. Because during the rural areas, the feed coming out from there was not as the feed that we're hearing. I mean, we've given this Yoruba man publicity that he didn't pay for. I mean, I came out, I spent 1 hour talking about it. Do you know how many people will talk about it today? It's because it is now in the urban area. I'm talking about the guy that was kidnapped, from Abuja to Kogi State yesterday. We've given him free publicity. It's because it is now having impact in the urban city. So, I'm just going to talk about the background quickly. Prior to the conference, European diplomats approached African rulers, and the French leaders had already invaded some part of Lagos in the same manner as they had in the Western Hemisphere by establishing a connection to the local trade network. In the early 1800s, the European demand for ivory, which was then often used in the production of luxury goods, led many European merchants into the interior market of Africa. European spheres of power and influence were limited to the coastal of Africa. At this time, as Europeans had only established trading posts protected by gunboats. Mr. Adekunle Ezekiel, welcome, sir. So each time they were doing those trading posts, they had a lot of gunboats. You dare not go next to them. Call it a good afternoon, sir. In 1876, King Leopold II of Belgium, who had founded and controlled the International African Association, the same year invited Henry Morton Stanley to join him in researching and civilizing the continent. In 1878, the International Congo Society was also formed with more economic goals, but still closely related to the former society. Leopold secretly brought off the foreign investors in the Congo Society, which was turned into imperialistic goals, with the African Society serving primarily as a philanthropic front. You see what they've been doing? Did you hear that bit? Eje can explain it for you. So what they've been doing is that, good morning, good afternoon, Mr. Leonard. There's always a front for them. So some of us see these great, beautiful, philanthropies. Alex Mamo, shout out to you. We see them, but they are working on behalf of these same, Europeans. Most of the time, you will see this beautiful presentation, this beautiful, whatever they call themselves, whether it's even even Amnesty International and the rest of them like that. Thank you so much, Mr. Peter Pan. You will see all these great, institutions being set up across Africa. Oh, we will give you, we will bring water there. Sometimes they are fronting for the people. That is why we are saying that if this was happening as far back as 1885, it is still happening today. As far back as 1878, it is still happening today. From 1878 to 1885, Stanley returned to Congo not as a reporter but as a Leopard agent with the secret mission to organize what will become known as the Congo Free State soon after the closure of the Berlin Conference in August 1885. Did you hear that? Did you hear that? In 1887 to 1885, a guy was sent back to Congo. While he was going there prior, they would think that he's a reporter, but he's no longer a reporter. He has now become an agent for King Leopold. And our people still fall the trap. Many of your politicians, including Tinubu, are all agents, including Obasanjo. They are all agents working against us. And that is what Obasanjo say, we must all make that push ourselves. Nobody is coming to rescue anybody. It is our responsibility to do exactly what we are doing now, to continue to highlight the problems. If you think that you're waiting for one big organization to come and tell you that your right should be given to you by Tinubu, Tinubu at the back is not told to give you your right. It is us that needs to tell Tinubu that our right will be respected under the international law, and we will do whatever needs to be done to make sure that that right is not trampled on by the government. Forget about those that are not talking about this now. Some of them are not having any impact or enjoying the government, but they care less because as far as they're concerned, some of them are just jealous. Now, why is it this set of people doing it now? You think that Afenifere have the time to be talking like this? They've talked about restructure for more than 30 years. They failed to deliver it to us. Why not let us try something different from the Afenifere mode of restructure? I pray that by the time Tinubu completes his tenure, many people will cry, because the expectation that you want from Tinubu, you might eventually not get it, and that will be a biggest disaster. But we are not going to sit back and say because of that. That is the reason why I say we must make as much push as we get into 2024 by God's grace. If I have the time again, I'll come back out. If otherwise, we will say a very good afternoon to you all. My name is Olami Koike. I hope you've enjoyed the broadcast as much as I have. It's like almost 2 hours. It will make it 3 hours program already today. We did 1 hour 10 minutes. All these hours that we are burning is because we want to be free from the dungeon of what the British created in 1914 amalgamation. Thank you so much, Mr. Akim Ayodele. Thank you so much, Akin Games, Ogumola, and the rest of you on the MixLR. To the Koiki Media backup team, thank you so much. To all those on the Twitter space, we appreciate your time this afternoon. And as I leave you, we pray for the brother that was kidnapped. Just as I should remind you that those in the NYSC that were kidnapped on the way to Sokoto since September are still there. So maybe, I don't know, this brother might be spending Christmas with a terrorist. So let's remember to pray for him and his family as quickly as possible. Hopefully something will touch the heart of these monster terrorists and they'll just release them. Hopefully you can sing to them, they will dance, and they'll be released and pay some good amount of money. Koiki Media bringing the waters at your doorstep. Today has been the 18th, the 12th, 2023, coming up to 12:55. I love to lock the time and the date because years down there, people will come back and watch all these videos, and at least they can make it out what happened, what we did, wrong, right, to give them the freedom that we are fighting for. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Bye for now. Mokiba Bawa Jimo Gasikia. Thank you so much, sir. Bye for now.